Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about how I keep my hair healthy now it's blonde. And I have spoken about this in the past, but I feel like the way that I'm doing it now and the things that I'm doing to my hair, the products I'm using are very different, so it deserves an update. I am thinking about maybe going block blonde because at the moment I'm having highlights and I feel like maybe the upkeep, although it will have to be done more regularly, the upkeep will be less damaging to my hair because there's no way that any of the blonde that has already been bleached, any of the hair that's already blonde will be done again because it'll just be concentrated on my roots maybe of every 4 weeks rather than potentially a little bit of, not all the way down my lengths, but a little bit of the way down my lengths kind of every 6 weeks. So I would appreciate maybe your thoughts on that. If you guys have had highlights and you guys have had kind of a block colour, let me know how you feel about that and the upkeep and all that stuff. So yeah, thinking about that at the moment. If I do that, there will be an updated video because I've never had kind of a block blonde hair colour done at the hairdressers before. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is blue shampoo because that's kind of the main thing for blondes that you try and eradicate those golden yellow tones. I have 2 shampoos that I've been using recently. I like one more than the other, but they kind of both have their own benefits. So the 2 that I'm using are the Provoke Touch of Silver, and this is the twice weekly brightening shampoo, and the other one is the L'Oreal Shine Blonde Brightening Repair Shampoo for blonde hair. And that's this one. This one is considerably more expensive than this one. I got some on my carpet. I'm hoping it's not actually blue and it's just wet. Anyway, these 2 are they using. This one is the most effective. It's the cheapest, but it's the most effective. This one definitely tones my hair quicker and it does more, basically. The problem that I do have with this one, I don't like the smell. It's very soapy. It's not fruity and sweet and fresh. It's just kind of soapy to me. I'm not a big fan of this smell. Plus it probably, you know, from when I've had kind of bad hair dye experiences in the past, I probably associate it with trying to get the yellow out of my hair and using it a lot. And that's probably part of the reason that I don't like it, but I'm not a big fan. That's a personal thing, but I'm not a big fan of this smell. Also, I do feel like it's a little bit drying. I know that some toners and some blue shampoos can be, most of them are, but this one more so than others, I do feel like it is quite drying, so I don't want to use it all the time, but because it is so effective, you don't have to use it as often. So this one is a really, really good one. I would recommend it. The next one that I've used, and I used this most recently, I used this yesterday to tone my hair, and I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of feel like it hasn't done a lot. This top section of my hair I feel like is still a little bit brassier than I'd like it to be, and had I used the Touch of Silver, because I left it on for an hour, had I used the Touch of Silver, I feel like it would have lifted a lot more and potentially left my hair a little bit tinged blue. So there's kind of swings and roundabouts. If you want something that's going to be gentler, because this definitely is, something that maybe you could use it with every single shampoo, something that smells a lot nicer and is less harsh on your hair, it's not going to be as drying, this is very nice. But I don't like to have to use a blue shampoo with every single wash. I like to use something more nourishing. So I like something that's going to actually work, that maybe I can use once a week, once every other week, and it's going to really make a difference to the tone of my hair, and then I can use something else when I'm actually washing it regularly. I prefer to use the other one. This one, I'm glad that I didn't pay full price for it. I got it in the sale recently from Feel Unique when they were doing an offer on, because I would have been really disappointed if I'd paid kind of 3 times or maybe even 4 or 5 times the amount of the Touch of Silver when I'm not as keen on it. So I wish the Touch of Silver smelled a little bit nicer. That's really the main thing for me. But they're the blue shampoos I've used recently. The shampoo and conditioner that I have been favouring, because I have a few that I've tried since I've been very blonde, these are definitely my favourite ones, and they are the Beadhead by Tigi Elasticate. And again, I got these in the sale. I think I paid £15 for the 2, which is not bad, £7 each. For me, I think that's pretty good going. I think that's almost kind of drugstore prices, especially for how much of it that you get. It's not normally that price. I'm definitely going to be looking out for when sales are on and when offers are on in the future, because I'm getting through this, but this is probably going to last me a while, so I'm hoping before it runs out I'll be able to bag some more in the sale. But it's just so good. It's making my hair feel so nourished and so much healthier. It does have proteins in them, or they do have protein in them to help strengthen your hair, and I still feel like, and oh my god, the smell is so good. The smell, I can't actually liken it to anything. I don't know what else smells like this. These smell so good. Just really good. But yeah, what they actually do for my hair is very nice things, and I would definitely recommend that you try them. I have a few other Beadhead products that I've got in recent sales. Feel Unique has been like on fire for really good offers this month. I don't know. I feel like this month they had the most offers on ever. I think that they did like some kind of campaign. I think it was called Unique Treats. and I took advantage of a lot of hair products in that time, some of which aren't mentioned here because I'm not that keen on them, but yeah, these would definitely be recommended. Now for treatments, so like, you know, styling products and products that I'm going to use after I've washed and dried my hair, or even just after I've washed my hair, I go for these 3. These are the 3 that I've been using the most. These are the 3 that I will continue to use. You will note that there are no oils in my hands, and the previous times that I've been blonde and when I've been darker and my hair's been a little bit damaged, I've definitely reached for the oils, and occasionally I'll put like an oil treatment in my hair, and I do crazy things to my hair, I really do, and this is not crazy things damaging things, but crazy things to try and keep it healthy. I will put oil in my hair, any kind of oil, oil in my hair whilst it's dry, and then I will lie with a towel on my head and lie on a hot water bottle. Anything, because you know, like a hot oil treatment, well, anything that kind of makes me think that I'm doing something good for my hair, and that's what I'll do. I'll lie where I know my ends are on my head underneath the towel on a hot water bottle and try and kind of get it to infuse into my hair. I have no idea if that works, but I do that kind of thing all the time to try and keep my hair healthy. But I do feel like oils and things that are particularly heavy, treatments and kind of styling products, do definitely make my hair brassier quicker, which is not really what I'm aiming for. I'm kind of aiming to be kind of a lighter, ashier blonde for as long as possible. I don't want to have that white blonde ashy hair, but I definitely don't want yellow hair. So I do feel like oils, I've been using oils a lot kind of the earlier half of this month, and I realised that that was happening. And so I kind of stopped using those and I started using these, and I feel like it's definitely helping. It's not, my hair isn't looking as heavy and it's not looking as dark. So the 2 products from Dove I have here, one of them is the Heat Protect Spray. I've tried lots of different Heat Protect sprays. I love this one the most. Again, it's all about smell for me. Don't you want to have the most amazing smelling hair? Yes. And Dove products really smell so, so good. I have tried their leave-in conditioners and I like them. But the one that I like most is the Oil Care one, and I will mention that in my favourites later on this week. I'll talk about that one. But again, because of trying to avoid oils, trying to avoid the things that are making my hair more brassy, I have been using this instead. Well, not instead, but I've been using these products instead, because that's not a heat protectant this is. This is a really fine mist. Something I find with heat protectants is, I bought one from Charles Worthington recently, and it's the worst. I have no idea where it's coming from. I spray it and I feel like it could come, like, it could go in my ear, it could go over here, it could go, I have no control over where it goes, and it's just one squirt in the side of your head. This sounds filthy, I apologise. But it is, it's really not good. Whereas this is kind of a finer mist all over your hair, and I feel like you're getting all over your hair, whereas with the other ones that I've tried, they're just rubbish, and this smells so good. So that's my favourite heat protectant right now. And I've also been using the Frizz Free Shine Cream Serum as well, and I've been using this on my hair whilst it's dry, just to kind of tame those ends and make sure that they're not kind of looking really frazzled as they can do. So I use this really sparingly, but I feel that the cream formulas are not affecting my colour, whereas the oils are. The last thing that I have been completely obsessed with, and I mentioned this, I got it in a beauty box at the beginning of this year, I want to say January, had no idea how I was going to use it, and it's the Percy & Reed No Fuss Flawless Dry Conditioner. I'm using the Percy & Reed one because I got it in a beauty box. I'll probably try the Batiste one next because it's considerably cheaper. Again, this smells really good, but I'm sure the Batiste one does as well. And if you have any recommendations for dry conditioner, I'd be all ears because this is the only one I've tried. But the general idea of this, if you remember Shine sprays used to be all the rage when I was a kid. Gliss was the brand of choice for most kids, for me, and especially if you've got blonde hair, it's really difficult to get a shine sometimes, and I tend to use this just in the ends of my hair like this, and it just kind of, it makes your ends feel less dry. And if you don't want to use if you don't want to use kind of a serum or a cream, and you don't want to use kind of an oil or whatever else that you might use in the ends of your hair, this is really nice, because if you've got a style that you don't want to get wet, and you don't really want to, if for example you've done kind of loose curls and you don't really want to touch your hair to put something through it, this is a really, really nice product to use, because it does just kind of seal those ends and make it look less dry at the ends, but you don't actually have to touch it afterwards. You can just spray it and it's done the same job, there or thereabouts, but I swear I'm actually gassing myself right now. It's done the same job, but you don't actually have to mess with the style that you have, so that's a perfect example of when that would be good. But when I blow dried my hair, I do just like to put a little bit in the ends, and I feel like it just kind of polishes off the style, so they are the products that I use. I want to briefly go over the things that I do to my hair to try, or don't do to my hair, to try and keep it in good condition. I try not to wash it as often, but to be quite honest, I'm kind of in between whether or not that really matters, because as long as you're not washing it every single day and heat styling it every single day, I don't think that it really matters. It's going to be the health of your hair, and you're going to know what's best for your hair. If your hair needs to be washed every day, then it needs to be washed every day. I generally can get away with dry shampoo for maybe 2 days, so I'll wash it maybe on the 3rd or the 4th day. I don't go out of my way to only wash it once a week or anything like that, because I do feel that my hair needs to be washed less than that, like in shorter time, in a shorter time period than that. So if I was really kind of pushing it out as long as that, then I would feel a little bit gross. But if your hair doesn't get greasy, or you feel like it's going to really dry out if you do that, then, you know, that's up to you. I do try to not wash my hair every single day, but for me that's kind of more laziness than anything else, because I don't want to have to style it. I do try to leave my hair to dry naturally as long as possible, or as often as possible, because I do feel like heat styling it is kind of frazzling it. I never flat iron it, really very rarely, maybe like once every few months, because I don't really like my hair super straight. Generally I'll leave my hair to dry completely naturally, and then I'll put some heat protectant on it to kind of re-wet it a little bit, just to make it a little bit damp, and then I go through with my blow dry brush, which is a little bit like the Babyliss big hair one, but it's a THX hot air styler, so it's similar but it's not the same, much cheaper. You can get it from Tesco. THX, just Google it. And I use that to kind of just curl the ends a little bit like I have now. It just gives it a little bit of shape, and it means that any of the kinks in my hair are kind of blow dried out a little bit. That's pretty much all that I do to my hair. I don't do much at all. I put it up when it needs washing. I just very rarely heat style it. And that's probably the key to the fact that it's not kind of falling out right now, because I have basically highlighted it to death. And especially if I do go for the block blonde, I feel like I'm going to have to do all the more to kind of keep it in nice condition. If it's going to just be like one block blonde colour, it's going to need to really look in nice condition to look good. So if you have any tips of your own of how to keep your hair healthy, please feel free to leave a comment. It's all kind of share and share alike when it comes to this kind of thing, and I know that I'm always interested to see how other people do it, and it's very personal. You know, what works for me won't necessarily work for you, but this is really working for me right now. And like I say, the whole highlight / block blonde, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm kind of really in between it at the moment. My inspiration is Fern Cotton. She's got the most amazing hair. I love her kind of really drastic blonde hair, and she's kind of like what I have in mind when I'm talking about block blonde. Not kind of Gwen Stefani block blonde, but slightly more realistic block blonde, not like insane white hair. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you keep your hair healthy, any tips you have, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!